my name's Ed, this is Ed's Mini Empire. This is episode 5 of Classic Mini Mark III restoration. We're going to jump back into the repairs on the right hand side rear. If you watched episode 4, you will have seen we got the battery box tidied up and we began work on the rear arch. I got that all cut out, ready to put the new one in. Since then I have tidied up the arch area, so I've got all that old material off, cleaned up all the edges, ready to take the new arch. I've still got a little bit of prep work to do, some holes to drill, some weld through primer to put on, a bit of rust protection as well. But before we get that welded in, I've currently got it in the car, test fitted in the right place. It fits pretty well, which is why one of the reasons I went for the Heritage panel. And before we weld that in, we're going to tackle the small piece. This piece of the rear quarter. So this is the piece that goes between the arch and the back panel. We're going to get that welded in, get the old bit cut out, get this welded in now because it'll be a lot easier with the arch out because we've got so much more access. But I've left the arch in so we can make sure this gets in the right place. We'll mark it all up, pop the arch out, fit this, and then we can get the arch ready, chuck it in and weld that in. So that is the plan for this video, but it doesn't always go to plan, so we'll see how it goes. So yeah, let me show you. We've got that new rear arch panel just slotted in. It kind of slots behind this front piece, side piece, whatever you want to call it. It is a bit tricky to get in. I had to kind of lever it in this last little bit here and tap it with a hammer to get it set round. We've got a couple of repairs still to do. I need to do something with this little edge here that's it's had a patch on there that I've cut off because that edge has dropped away. And there's holes to drill all the way around here because I'm going to have to plug weld this on. The edge I can get with a spot welder, that's not a problem. So yeah, that's fitting in pretty well. I didn't have to modify it or anything, I just had to make clearance to get it in. But we're here to do this bit, so let me get you a closer, better look. The light's not great this side of the car because this angle the car kind of covers the lights. So this sits in here. There we go, that's better. You can see this has obviously gone rusty at some point and somebody's put a big patch in there. This must have been filler before the car was blasted because that's horrible. But this piece just slots in there, just like that. We do have a couple of reference points on the bottom. So the very bottom here is the bottom of this edge, so I know how low we need to go. And the reason I wanted this arch in is because that will give us this profile here to follow. It doesn't have to be exact because you can tweak both of these to fit perfect. But that means we'll essentially have 3 lines to go off. I can pretty much see where it needs to be here. This edge will line up against there. This edge will line up against here. So that means that that can't be in the wrong place when we get it in. But with all this sticking out, can't get that in. So I'm just going to take the grinder and trim this bit out just so we can fit this in a bit better, and then we'll mark up where we're going to weld. Now this has like a lip on it on the top, which is, if you get the right angle, it's stepped. So what will happen is I'll cut the new panel to this point, and this stepped bit will sit behind this bit, so you get a lap joint. So you're not butt welding like this, you're welding like this, which gives it a much stronger hold, and you've got a bit more surface area there to weld to, rather than just on the very edge. So it'll be a better job. This came from M Machine, like all the panels that I've got for this so far, and honestly I think they're about 13 quid, 14 quid or something. It's not worth trying to make that. But yes, we will get the grinder, tidy this up, mark up where we're going to be, make some cuts and get it in. do. We can push the rest in, out the way. So how does this fit in? Should fit nice. It's a bit tight, but I suppose it will be because we've got that extra little piece there. Oh, it don't fit. Aha, that's the way to do it. Okay, we've got it sat in the right place there with a bit of persuasion. Now, I haven't really got much reference points on the bottom other than that little nib that's here. But what I can do to confirm that that's in the right place is take this new panel, which is for this corner, and just slot that into place, because this fits pretty nice on the back panel. It kind of fits itself almost. He says with confidence. And you can see that that is at the same height. If you were a bit lower, you could anyway. There we go. That's a mint view. So that's just kind of a nice little visual that this piece isn't too high or too low. So when I come to fit the floor, which will butt up against it, I'm going to be in the right place. So now what I'm going to do is I need to mark on here where to cut. But I need to cut where this point is, not here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw the top in pencil. Pop that out. And now I can measure the lip. I make that about 11 mil. About 11 mil. So now if I drop 11 mil from there, that should give us the right position. I can't get my ruler in. I can get that in though. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, that'll do us. Right, so that is where we need to make the cut on this bottom pencil line, and that'll slot up behind and we can weld across here. So I will pop the arch out, cut that rotty bit out, prep the area, get this in. Okay then, we've got that all cleaned up, all the old material off. This fits really nice in there now. Got a lovely edge to weld onto there. Fits nice against this profile, and you can see the wheel arch is nice and uniform. What I've done here is I've drawn a line here. You can just about see it. It's only pencil. That is the edge of this panel, which will be getting fitted later on. Just so I don't bother welding this down underneath that line, because I'll have to remove that, because most of this section under here is going to get replaced. So there's no point me welding under here just to take it back off. So I'll just weld that top section above this line and across here, and that'll be enough to hold it for now until we get the arch in to weld this side. And then later on when we come to do this, I'll finish off welding down here with this panel when that's fitted. So we're going to get some weld through primer on these bare metal areas and on the panel itself, and then we'll get the welder fired up. There we go, that's that panel welded in. Obviously I just seam welded it across there. I did blow through here, that's why that bit's a little bit bigger. It was a little bit thin there, but I managed to fill it in, so that's alright. We've got plenty of depth on that panel anyway. And then I used the spot welder for this edge, which is easy peasy. I love that spot welder. Although it is very heavy, which is why I've rolled the car back round, because I'm actually sat down at the minute. So I will get the grinder, tidy up this edge, and just a little tidy around here just to make that a little bit neater. But yeah, nearly there. There we go, guys. She's all cleaned off now. Quite happy with that. Fits nice. Okay, so There's no point me putting any protective paint on this or anything, because obviously the quarter is still needing prep, so when I do all the wire brushing and rust treatment on the quarter panel way down the line, that's when I'm going to paint this piece. Right, so we've got a little bit of prep to do, we've got a little bit of welding to do in this corner for the arch. I need to drill a couple of holes up here to weld through, and I need to drill lots of holes all the way around there to weld through as well. So I'm going to do that. Right, for continuity reasons, I just want to point this out. I've got a gnarly burn on my wrist. Obviously, I filmed these over a couple of days, a couple of nights. So you'll see that from this point on, because I've burnt it. And no, I didn't burn it in the garage on the welder. I didn't touch a hot piece of metal that I just cut off. I didn't touch a hot exhaust pipe or anything. I did it on the oven. So the lesson here is, stay in the garage, you're much safer. Alright then, so we've got this area down here repaired. I have test fitted the arch again just to make sure that this is the right kind of shape, and it is. I might have to do a little bit of adjustment and a bit of tweaking to the shape of this very corner piece, but I'm going to leave that until we get this valance closing piece all buttoned up together, so I'll be able to tell that what shape that needs to be later. But I'm quite happy with that. I've also done a little repair up here from when I went too far through with the grinder. So now we need to drill lots of holes all the way around here so we can plug weld through to the new panel, and a few up here. This edge doesn't matter because I can use the spot welder on that. But we need to drill through the arch panel and weld to this strengthener, which is for like the suspension shock absorber top bit. So we need to weld to this. There's actually 3 spot welds on there. I've already marked up, when I had it test fitted in, I marked up with pen around here so I know where this sits on the new panel. So I need to drill holes in the new panel, and then I'm going to prep the that panel first before I drill these holes, just so the paint's got a bit longer to dry, because I'm going to lay it on pretty thick. So let's do that. Okay, so this is the area that bracket covers, and I need to be through here rather than through here. So we're just going to go for 3. So we'll just go 1, 2, and 3, something like that. Lost the hammer. Get the gigs. Okie dokie. Give that a quick flash over with the grinder. Right, the next stage on getting this bit ready is to get rid of all of this black paint. Now the black paint does look good and it makes it nice and protected while this was sat on a shelf. But the problem is the metalwork underneath this is not protected, so there's nothing stopping any moisture or any rust getting under that black and then coming through your new panel. It's not protected under there, so you need to get all of that black off before you fit this, and it becomes stuck in that hard to get area. And the easiest way to do that is probably with the grinder. So I'm just going to go gently over it with the grinder to get that black off. Get gigs on. Then got all them holes drilled all around the outside. I've got some weld through primer everywhere. I've got some on the arch panel over yonder, and I've also got it all around that lip that's going to be hidden, and all around here too. So it is 11 o'clock at night now. I'm going to let all that paint go off, and we'll come back tomorrow, get that arch chucked in, and weld it all together. Okay, then we are all ready. Got the panel here. Now I have put some red oxide primer just on this top section. Don't know if you can see that very well there with that light. Just because that is probably going to be quite hard to get to once this is in, so I just wanted to give that an extra little bit of protection while I had the chance. So now this is a bit difficult to get in, but it does go in a fashion. Just kind of got to shoehorn it in. There we go, that's it. Get the angle and the angle right. And then just need to start with it. Drop your tools. A gentle love tap. a little bit stuck there still. It's a good job it's a tight fit, because if it wasn't a tight fit it wouldn't probably fit. Because we are cheating a little bit by only putting a half in. It's got to sit right behind that. There we go. Let's let that out. Right. Getting there now. Just push that into place. Something a bit like that. Get your hand up there and settle it in. Right, I'm happy we have got that in the right place now. I've got these couple of clamps just holding it in, just so it doesn't shift while we're welding it. I do have a little gap up here, you can't really see, but there is a gap. But what happens is when I pull that tight is it tends to pull the panel out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of tacks around here to keep it in place, and then I'll pull this area tight, and that should pull it all right into the right area. I've checked inside, we're okay lined up in there. I've checked up here, we are okay there. We'll do that bit at the end. So now I'm going to use, obviously I had to bend this out to get the old panel out, so we are a little bit misshapen. So I'm just going to use a hammer and punch just to try and get that into the right shape. If I can just get one of them close enough. The rest will come easier because the metal will heat up as I start, and it'll make it a bit more malleable. Exactly what I wanted. There you go. I know I've got an open gap here, but it'll be alright by the time we get around there. Right, so now I just need to carry on all the way around there and fill all the little holes up. Alright then, so we've got that bit all done. I've made my way all the way around the outside there. I went from this side round after I got them few tacks that you saw in, just so I could follow the heat round, and it made it quite easy to push that metal lip back where it needed to be. And I've also done them three up there for that little strengthening plate. I tapped that down from the inside to make that meet up welded that on. So now we'll flip the car around and we'll do the little bit inside, like where the back seat is, and then we'll tackle this edge. Mind yourself. So we've got all that bit welded. I'm going to get this bit done and then I'll hit it with the grinder at the end. I'm going to go for this bit first and kind of work my way around here. We've got a little bit of an edge there, but it does push out if I push the quarter panel. So what I'm going to do is get up so far and then move the clamps and push it and hold it in the right position. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom here because obviously I do have a repair section for the bottom of this quarter panel. And I'll end up cutting some of that off. So I'm probably just going to start probably just one spot the other side of this ball grips here, just so I don't end up cutting off welds that I've just done, because that'd be silly. Oh, sorry. One this side and I'll move them and do a bit in the middle. There we go. Carry on a little bit. I love this machine. Oh. Right, there we go guys. I've done with the spot welder and I absolutely love that. It always amazes me how easy and fast it is and what a good result you get. That looks pretty spot on. I've done quite a lot. It's probably more than what was there from factory. But that's not a bad thing really, is it? I'll unclip the camera from the holder and do an inside shot. So you can see there we've got good penetration on that edge all the way around. And if I just hop inside, you can see we've got good penetration all the way around there. I don't need to touch them, they're actually absolutely spot on. You can just see the heat markers come through to this back panel. But it hasn't broke the surface, so they're absolutely spot on. And the same on that side. So just got a bit of grinding off. This one I did find a little bit more difficult. The steel was a bit thinner on this back seat bit, so I had to go a bit more gentle. But it'll clean up. It's well good enough. And obviously I've got to clean all these up. So let's get the grinder out and do that. I feel really good about this, guys. Feels fantastic. If anybody is into classic car restoration or big jobs like this, this is the first really big, bar the roof, but I didn't really have to repair the roof, I just prepped it. This is the first bit that I've actually completed, and it feels really good to make some actual progress on it. That spot welder is an absolute godsend. I'm so glad that I bought it. It's ancient. It's a really old machine, and it is ridiculously heavy. That's why I did this bit at this angle, so I could sit on my little stool here and do it. And it gets really hot. It's over there at the minute, calming down, because it's still glowing. It's over there, away from anything, so I know what I'm like. I'll end up standing on it, and I'll burn through my foot. But yeah, if anybody's on the fence about getting a spot welder, that's your proof. That's how easy it was. It took me easily another hour to drill all of them holes, to dress all them holes, to fill them all up, and then to grind them back. When you've got as much work as this to do, by the time we've done sills and arches and back panel and everything, you'll save so much time. It's definitely worth the money. Get a second-hand one like I did, because they are very expensive, but the results speak for themselves. Well, there we go, guys. That is that all finished off now. I'm really happy with how that's turned out. It's come out really well. I was a bit worried that doing a wheel arch was going to end up being more difficult than doing a full one. But I think it turned out pretty well. We made a nice job of that, and we've done that little quarter repair panel there as well. So yeah, we're well on the way to getting this car sorted now. Got a good mojo, got a good rhythm going, feeling good. Moving forward in the next episode, we're going to come forward in the car and tackle that heel plate, hit a heel board end where the subframe bolts up to. There's a bit of sill in there that's gone rogue, quarter panel, and it all kind of blends together. Yeah, I'm really happy now. It's turned out fabulous. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give me a like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe if you're watching these videos and you're not subscribed. You might miss one, you might not get the notification. So please do hit that subscribe button, it helps me out massively. We're over that 500 mark now, which is absolutely perfect. I'm loving how the channel's growing. So yeah, like the videos, share with your mates, subscribe to the channel. My name is Ed, this is Ed's Mini Empire, and I'll catch you next time.